Okay, page 648, the Chovos HaLevavos. Umihem od mishagorem la'abid moment chaver b'chiluso. A person who causes a person to lose his money because he's an informer, as a result of his rechilus, vein ola lo tshuva achiratzas chavero. Vein om chavero, tshuva has no value unless you've actually asked forgiveness. In b'momon, in b'pius, uchniyah. You have to, firstly, you have to compensate the person, restitution. Pius, you have to ask for forgiveness. Ubechniya, with submission, limcholov and socheto. Oshekosu vasher ochlu she'er ami v'oram aleim hipshito. Fortunately, there were those kinds of Jews. They stripped other people's, literally, they stripped their skin off of them. That's how they abused other people. Umehem yishabo el ervo v'hodem min a mamzer. Mishnah, it's a Mishnah Chagigo. Shlomo said this, what we call, there's movis lo yochol lisko. Right? There's iniquity which cannot be corrected. One iniquity is a person, God forbid, he has a incestuous or adulterous relationship, and there's a illegitimate child born from it. If no child is born, you can do tshuva. It's bein mocha. But if there's a product of that, God forbid, you can't kill the child. So what do? Can't be corrected. The person has a real problem because there's a permanent resulting as a result of the chet. It's considered, he says, a heinous crime, oven plealing, an unpardonable offense. It'll actually consume him into the oblivion. And what way did they betray Hashem? They fathered illegitimate children. Hosea. How do you know if you hold him in a mamzer? How do you know? Maybe you can do tshuva. It's bein lamokum. Who did you hurt? No, that was my hezber. That was that's what I said. But it's based on psukim. Person who's accustomed to speak falsehood and also to speak negatively, pejoratively about other people. You hear this? He doesn't even who we spoke about. He's forgotten it. Like you said earlier, a person is in business and he short weights people over many years. Now, even if you want to do tshuva, who do you compensate? Who do you reimburse? You spoke negative about people, lashon hara about people. You have to ask forgiveness of each individual. So what do? It's not correctable. Now, beinom mokum one thing, what beinom l'chavero? Tachlis etzlo ukvar shochach hanoshe dibur bom. He's already forgotten who he had spoken about. V'akol shomer olov kosu b'sefer avonosa, but everything is held for safekeeping, and everything's recorded. That's something very positive. We discussed in Tefillah Zaka. You say you mochel everybody who sinned against you. Okay, it's a very valuable thing. If everybody says Tefillah Zaka, we're all in good shape. But unfortunately, if they don't say Tefillah Zaka, a person is not in touch with what he's saying. It's a problem. The main thing is Bnei Yisrael. It's cited in Halacha that it's brought in Sforim that look, God doesn't want to punish anybody. If we're all his children, so let's say he has to punish another Jew because you were not willing to forgive. So you're the cause of Hashem's pain. And what do you have to not to forgive? Something personal. The halach is if somebody owes you money, you have no obligation to waive a debt, or a person damaged you or stole from you. You don't have to waive it. Let the man compensate me. But let's say a person offended you, and you're not willing to let go, And what do you gain by not willing to let go? Nothing. So, but factually, if you don't let go, the man's going to be punished. So why does God have to punish that person? Because you were not willing to forgive. So there's a claim against the person who wasn't willing to forgive. And the Rambam, in Hilchos Tshuva, says that we find that the Givonim, because they weren't willing to forgive Shaul for what happened, it says, as a result of Ir Nov Kwanim, who was killed out, the Givonim, they were the ones who supplied the water and the wood to the Novir Kwanim. So they had no livelihood. So many of them, they starved. They starved to death. So they had a grudge against the family of Shaul, because Shaul indirectly was the cause that they had no livelihood, and they weren't willing to forgive. And later there was a plague that it says, and the Navi says that the only way the plague would stop, that the children of Shaul have to be killed, because the Givonim were actually this tragedy happened to go because of Shaul, and they hung the children of Shaul. They were killed because so the Givonim weren't willing to let go, to forgive. If they would have forgiven, it would have been past. They would have lived. So the Rambam cites this, and he says, Jews are not like the Givonim who are Achzorim. It's cruelty not to forgive. Those are the words of the Rambam. It's Achzorius. Achzorius means cruelty. Like the Givonim, that's the way of the Givonim. Jews are Bnei Avram Yisrael Yaakov. We forgive, and therefore a Jew should forgive. Because otherwise terrible tragedies come about if you're not willing to forgive. You know, there's a famous story of Moshe. These two people had a dispute, and they come before Moshe, and Moshe says, they finish, and the person says, okay. So Moshe says to one, say to the other, I forgive him. I forgive you. The person says, it's okay. So he says, no, I want you to say, I forgive you. The person, but it's okay. And he wouldn't say, I forgive you. Moshe says, you must say you forgive him. So he says, why are you so demanding? I say, forgive. So he cited Rabbeinu Bachya. Rabbeinu Bachya says that the reason why we had Asura Rugi Malchus is because as much as Yosef didn't bear a grudge up against his brothers, he never said, I'm mochel you. And because he did not say the word mechila, therefore we had Asura Rugi Malchus. That was a consequence of that. Therefore, I want you to say, I forgive you, to fully release him. It's the famous story of Moshe. So saying a mochel is something very, very vital to be continued.
The case with Yosef, they tried to kill him.